Hello everybody and welcome back to a new review here on my channel. Today I've got something really special for you. You can see it right here. What I got for you today is a vintage original Louis Vuitton President briefcase. This is really special. I was looking for one of these for ages, and I was finally able to find one that was in my price range. The condition was right, the patina was right, and this one is just absolutely beautiful in my eyes. So you can see the monogram is still in beautiful condition. This is something I'll talk about a little later. So, what is this video all about? First and foremost, if you are on the hunt for one of these, there are very few really helpful videos on the internet to actually show you what you should look out for. So I want to give you some information on that, things to look at, also some pricing information. What is a reasonable price to pay for one of these? What different models do they have? Because there are a few differentiations that you have to make. And and everything in between I just think of while I talk about it. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, first and foremost, one thing you have to look out for is that the monogram is in absolutely fantastic condition, because this is the main piece of it. You can't replace this. If you replace this, you can pretty much replace the whole thing. So what you should look out for is that here on the edge, not so much on this one, but more importantly on this one here on the back, the monogram isn't too worn off. So if you look here, you can see, so let me get out of the light, you can see we have some slight wear right here. But this is harmless, this is in the average use area. There are some where this is all faded and this is all gone brown. Everything here and here on the bottom, because it's that used off. Stay away from those. They might be cheap, they might be like $400 or $500. It's not worth it, believe me. Then second up, around here, right? Mine, admittedly, is in pretty rough condition also. Particularly the edges, obviously. It's an older suitcase, right? It has traveled a lot. Particularly this one. Actually, I found out this used to belong to quite the successful businessman here in Germany. So it was really cool to actually hear the backstory. So, what I want to tell you though is watch out that this is not too worn out. This can be replaced, but one thing you should know is that this is no leather. This is not leather. This is actually plastic. This is plastic. It feels and looks like leather, but it is just coated plastic. So it's some PVC. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, yes. Another thing I want to say. This can be replaced, but it's incredibly expensive. Okay, so keep that in mind. So we're talking about 1,500 euros to do that thing. At Louis Vuitton, this is where you want to have it done, because you see all of it's fixed in by hundreds probably of nails. So yeah, you want to have those put back in the right way, and I think Louis Vuitton is the only place where you can get it done the right way. Now this is really important on a president, is that you have nice hardware. A lot of them are really faded. If you see one of these and it's all faded and matte, don't worry. You can polish this up again. So if it's cheap because of that, you've just got yourself a bargain. Just buy one of those, get some proper polish. Either do it yourself, it's not too hard, or go to a professional and they'll do it for you. What you have to watch out for is to get no polish on the canvas, because the polish, there are chemicals in there which are not good for the canvas, and it might damage it. So maybe tape it off, and then polish it, and you get it really shiny again. So maybe sit on it for an afternoon, just leave it on there. Not too long ago, just rub it in. Someone tried to do it with this one, and it doesn't show up on camera anymore. In person, if you look really close, you can still see it. Someone did this on here, but really unprofessionally. So I just put it on. They thought they don't have to rub it. So it left like stains all around here, and it was all white and looked terrible. So that was one reason why I was able to get it so cheap, but I got it all cleaned up. So what do you have to look out for? This is all branded Louis Vuitton. And this is real brass. This is not coated. This is 100% real brass. Left and right. Then you have these two edge things right here, and also down here. And in the middle you have a vachetta leather handle that's also fixed with brass. Then you have Louis Vuitton, the number of your key, made in France, and to open it you push this thing in. Usually the spring's up. My spring is worn out, so I have to do it like this. But usually gravity does the job for me. So, now, another thing I want to show you here on the outside. This is regarding the canvas. So here on the side, it matches up. So the flower matches up with the flower. It is not a half cut off LV. That is one thing, one rule with Louis Vuitton hard-sided pieces. Now this is broken here. Which what you can see here is that the Louis Vuitton is cut off right here. But this is how it is on every single Louis Vuitton president, except for some prototypes, which I'll show you in just a second. But this is how it is supposed to look. So if you go on the Louis Vuitton website and you look at one of these now, they actually raised the price, and one of these new now is about 6,000 euros. But they also look exactly the same. So the LV is cut off right here. Okay, and there is one prototype, which I'll show you right now, which can be found in the catalog. So, wait a sec. And this is the original Louis Vuitton catalog from 1987, which came with this this president. So it should be somewhere right here. Exactly, right here. So if I pick this up, take a close look on this one. Don't know if you can really see it, but you see the LV matches up. And interesting enough, they also have one here that is opened. And if you look right here, it looks just like mine. So where the LV is positioned. So you can screenshot this right now and take a look at this. I think that's really, really interesting. So they had a prototype where it looked correct, but actually they changed their mind and they've never went back. So now, just a fun fact. Now, let's get into it. So before I get into it, one last thing. Yours can or probably should come with a luggage tag and also a clochette thing, which is like a leather thing with like, which keeps your keys protected. So it's nice if it comes with that. So to open it up, first press on here, then you pull these two down. You have to pull them down all the way, just leave them right there. Okay, and then you can get some newspapers in here. So now we're in here, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I prefer these vintage ones because they have actually a lot more pockets and compartments in here. So it has 3 pen holders. Here you have 2 places where you see someone use it to paper clip like stuff on here. Then you have space for business cards or credit cards. Another one of these pockets right here. And then you have a large compartment in here, in which you can keep documents, etc. And also this is size adjustable with these belts. What I really like also in these vintage ones, boom, pull the middle one out also. These, you have some buttons right here. Wait, I put it back in and give it a proper pull. There we go. Buttons right here, so you can actually take this out to make the suitcase significantly larger or increase your space. So the suitcase doesn't get larger, but you get more space in here. So here you also have 3 brass buttons. This is also brass. Middle here you have Louis Vuitton, made in France. And if you turn it around, which I think is really nice, here on the ribbons, you also have Louis Vuitton. So that's really cool. So inside it is finished in brown leather material. Great amount of space. Also in the older ones you have Louis Vuitton right there. Everything that is metal or a hinge or a ribbon is brass on the suitcase. There's no alloys and no different alloys. It's all brass. Now, how much should you pay for one of these? The price range is obviously quite grand. So you start with vintage ones, I'd say around $600-700, and it can go up to obviously limited editions that are over retail. We also have the Epi versions, which are around $1,000 or $2,000 or euros, which I think are absolutely beautiful. If I had to buy another one, I would definitely go for black Epi. I don't like the tan Epi though. I think that looks a little tacky. But the black Epi is absolutely beautiful. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you here in the catalog. This is actually one of the first catalogs that featured the black Epi. You can see it right here. This is the black Epi President. Right there. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, now there is also something called a Super President, which is a double as thick as this. So it looks pretty much the same, but then it has this size added below it again. So it's significantly larger. You also have a double floor in there, but I think it's way too large, way too clunky for today's standards. I think this is just the perfect size. And one thing to keep in mind, this is a pretty heavy suitcase. Briefcase, so it is not comparable to a Louis Vuitton Ambassador briefcase. So if you have one of these, actually let me take out mine. We can do a little size comparison. I have it stored right here. If you want to see a review on the Ambassador, by the way, just drop a comment down below, and if there is enough interest, make a video on this guy too. I actually didn't think of the comparison right now, so that's why I'm a little unprepared. I'm sorry, you guys. Yeah, it's a little hard to do in one-handed, as always. It's something you hear every video, so there's... You know, some of you guys say just get a tripod, and yeah, you know what, you're right. One of these days, I'm gonna get one. So, this is a Ambassador briefcase. And now if you don't have one of these as a size comparison, what do I have right here? My MacBook is not in here right now, but I can give you, like, this is an iPad mini. So it's about 1, 2, let's say 3 or 2.5 iPad minis wide. And you can see so it fits a MacBook Air 13-inch perfectly. So I think that's probably a little more helpful. You can see the President is a little larger, obviously significantly thicker, and also significantly heavier. So yeah. To continue with the pricing part, so that Super Presidents, they are significantly cheaper, but don't fall for it. I think they just look way too clunky. So I think if you get one for 800 to 1,200, I think you got one hell of a deal. Of course, always depending on the condition, right? So I think this one is worth around 800 to 1,000, right? If you get one where the edges are really nice, maybe it has the original receipt, maybe it's one of the later models, then I think 1,200 to 400 is also a really good price. If we're talking about the Epi versions, I think you can go a little higher with those. The Tiger versions also, because they are really rare, and they actually still sell them, so those are actually 7,500, I think. And so yeah, there are many things you have to look out for, but I covered pretty much all of them in this video. So if you have any more questions though, just ask them down below in the comment section, and I'll do my very best to answer them as well as I can. So thank you for watching. See you in the next one.